Hey everyone, Brendan Snyder here. How are you? Thanks so much for joining me and welcome to another video of me unboxing stuff that just arrived in the mail. So earlier this week, I got one of those notices that said there was a package for me, but they couldn't leave it because they had to have me sign for it. So unfortunately, I had to wait a couple extra days for it. And that of course just made the anticipation and everything about it that much greater. And I finally made it down to the post office. Look at this thing. This thing is enormous. This is so cool. Full of music in here. It's coming from Bad Reputation Records. So I'm really excited to see what it is that they've sent me in this installment, so to speak, of cool things that are coming out and other cool backstock and everything else that they've got there. But the label has a lot of cool stuff. And so I'm super excited to dive into this. But before we do, if you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things do help support my channel. Of course, I'd greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by turning on notifications, you'll never miss an episode and stay up to date on cool things like this, where I'm getting ready to open this up right away and see what is inside here. As I said, coming from Bad Reputation Records. They've already sent some cool stuff in the past. So I've had some great conversations with the owner, Eric Kubart. I want to thank him. But talking about different things that were on his label, bands that I liked and stuff, and said that he's got a mega package for me here. So that's what this is. Let's go ahead and get into it. I've got my X-Acto, so let's cut in and see what we got. So yeah, man, getting that notice earlier this week that I had something, but not being able to go get it was just extra, like, I don't know, making me crazy all week before I could get down and go get it. But there we go. We're now inside this thing. So let's see what we got. All right, we got some packaging, oh, look at that right there. A bunch of CDs. Looks like we got a shirt in here too. Bad Reputation Record shirt. How great is that? Look at the back of this. Fuck you, you fucking fuck. I like it. Bad Reputation. How cool is that? All right, so let's see what this is. Oh my goodness, wow. This looks like a ridiculous amount. Of course, really, what is ridiculous, right? Because it's not ridiculous to me. All of this is fantastic to get so much music. Looks like maybe about 10 things here. Oh, man. Oh. Okay. Oh, wow. I think it's even more than that. He wasn't kidding when he said this was a super sized thing. So let's see. All right. So first thing up, group called Glider. I'm not overly familiar with them. Their name rings a bell for me. And I know he was talking to me about them, so I'm definitely going to look them up. And I'll be able to talk to you more about this stuff in the New Music Finds episodes that I post on Wednesdays, when I can talk a little bit more about these groups. But I know this is a newer band, supposed to be in the sort of classic rock style vein, but a group called Glider. I mean, there's the guys on the backside. So I am looking forward to checking that out. So here's one that I've been talking to him about. I saw this one on his website, and so I was interested in this. Dixon House Band, and nothing more than the album cover caught my eye. And so I looked it up and found out that this album, called Fighting Alone, came out in 1979. One and only album from the band. It features Dixon House on keyboards. That's where they get the name Dixon House Band. And they're sort of a prog rock, prog pop group, as I understand it, sort of in the vein of like Asia. They mix like Sticks and Kansas, but I guess you could have stanzas, right? And they're from Seattle, Washington. So yeah, I just, took one look at that and said, that's got to be pretty cool. And when you find out the year from some of these artists, you just know that that's going to be something worth checking out. So I love Asia, I love Sticks, I love Kansas. So I think I'm going to be super excited about that. Okay, this one here, Charcoal Rocks, and this is hard and sleazy rock and roll. Sounds good to me. I like it hard rock. I like it sleazy. So if this is like sort of a glam metal, sleaze metal sounding stuff, I don't know. Sounds pretty good to me. I'm looking forward to checking that out. So a couple new things in here that I'm not familiar with. This one here, I can't remember if I talked to him about this one or not, but Jack Green, and this is Humanesque, I think is the right name for that. And looks like this was 1980, reissued in 2019. So definitely gonna check that out. I've seen the name, I know the name. This is another one that I was talking to him about, Melvin James. So this one here, The Passenger, it's his debut album on the MCA Records label. But what caught my eye, and I'll probably never get his name right because I've never really known how to pronounce this, but the producer for this album here, along with Melvin James, is the Eagles producer, Bill Zimick. Don't know if I pronounced that right or didn't pronounce it. There's a whole bunch of extra letters and consonants in there that I don't know how you would normally pronounce. But Eagles producer, either way, working on this. And I thought, you know, if he was willing to be involved in this, then it's got to be pretty good. It came out in 1987. And again, it was the album cover that caught my eye. And that's something that goes back to my time in the late 80s, early 90s, you know, before internet, before you could look this stuff up, and you only knew something if you heard it on the radio, saw it on MTV. But if not, then, you know, a lot of times it was just take a look at an album cover, and if it spoke to you, maybe that was something you wanted to pick up. Here's another one, group called Strike Force, and this is their self-titled one and only debut album. Look at those guys there. Again, 1984. So you can look at them and just know immediately that this is going to rock in some manner. They're a Canadian band, melodic metal, melodic hard rock of some kind. But again, if I saw that on the back cover with this, that in and of itself would speak to me. So a lot of these are just ones that I'm interested in taking a chance on and seeing what happens. So here's another one he's thrown in here. It looks like an Alice Cooper tribute. Eric McFadden, Hail to Hell, an Alice Cooper acoustic tribute. Oh, that should be pretty cool then. I like that. So it's not just straight covering it. It's going to be done acoustically. And if this is a whole bunch of different stuff actually on here. So initially I was thinking it might just be the Welcome to My Nightmare album done in its entirety acoustically, which would also be very cool. But this has bunches of stuff. It's got Billion Dollar Babies is on here. It's Me, Is It My Body, Ballad of Dwight Fry, but lots of cool stuff. So yeah, that'll be worth checking out. Let's see what this one is. I don't recognize this either. Honky Stomp, the bastard child of bluegrass and hard rock. All right, so heavy, honky, groovy, funky. I'll give this a chance. We'll see what this is. You might be hearing. You never know what is going to excite, you know, you or whoever it is that might be hearing something. So this next one, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right. Ron Jodert. Goedert is the last name. Breaking All the Rules. Let's look at these guys. Look, pretty rock and roll if you ask me. This album itself, I think it was 1978 or 79. So debut solo album from this guy who is the former singer to the Tampa, Florida band White Witch. And White Witch had put out 2 albums before in 72 and 74. And this was meant to be the 3rd White Witch album, but Polydor Records, who he signed with at that time, or I should say band, signed with at that time, opted not to release it as White Witch and release it under Ron's name. But again, I just took a look at these guys. I don't know anything about them, although as soon as I saw Tampa, Florida, since I grew up in the Tampa area, you know, that spoke to me. I don't remember this group. They were probably before my time being there, but I love checking out these reissues of underground, you know, under the radar style, classic rock sounding artists. And so any of these bands from the 70s up through the mid to late 80s that put things out that kind of ran under the radar, I'm very excited about. And this next one here, I'm probably the most excited about anything here. This is the band Teaser. First of all, just look at that killer album cover. It screams 1970. So this release here, 1978. And the band, this is their debut, one and only album. This band would later become more famous and morph into Vandenberg. So this band features Adrian Vandenberg on guitar and the other three guys that made up Vandenberg. You got Bert in here on vocals and Josh on drums and Dick on bass. So the guys that would record and become this Vandenberg started as Teaser. 1978 debut. Didn't even know that this existed, much less was back in print. So just me heading over to Eric's website, Bad Reputation Records, and perusing through, I found this. This was like score for me. Huge, huge thing that I'm super excited about. That will be the first thing I crack open for sure. So this one I know is a new one that they're just getting back in print, I think. Stage Dolls, the self-titled album. See if I can see a year on this. This might be like 1990, 92. Can't read it. It's very small on the back side. But Stage Dolls, if you don't know who Stage Dolls are, they're very, very cool hard rock group. I want to say maybe they might be British, but I've got some of their other albums. So this one's going to be cool to add to the catalog and check this out. Glad to see that they've got that. And I know I showed you in the last go around the other Casanova album. And this one here, One Night Stand, is actually a 2 CD set. So Michael Voss on vocals and guitar. Michael Voss, who's played with a lot of different groups, but most notably with Michael Schenker fronting his group. And so this one's got live and unreleased demos, some bonus tracks on it. So I'm a super fan of the two Casanova albums and glad to see this one. The other one has an acoustic EP as part of it. Like I said, previously showed you guys that, but now there's this one here. So getting that one. And let's see, this one here. Oh, Pat McManus and Eric McFadden. So Pat McManus of the McManus Brothers Mama Boys, partnering up with Eric McFadden. Eric McFadden, we just saw this one. So two things with him, but certainly interested in this here. I like the Mama's Boys. So this is live. Trying to see, this is obviously a French release. It's got French written all over it. So I'm not able to read everything, but it is a 2024 release. So don't know if this is present day or maybe an archival thing, but it is something new for the label. And anything that, you know, Pat McManus is out doing. Two big MCs, it says on here. McManus, McFadden, kind of cool the way they tied all that together. But man, what a collection worth of stuff here. Got some things I'm not familiar with, and I've got some cool catalog style stuff that he's sending out to me, and threw in some extra things here. And then a bunch of stuff that I had asked about and talked about on his label with him, and a few extra things is Jack Green and the Glider. So wow, man, all in all, let's see how many came in this in the end of the day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 CDs. What a way to kick off the weekend with all this great stuff. And one of these things here, there's a couple different things. Trying to see if there's anything. There's a few other things that we had talked about that I guess will come in another round. And I've gotten excited for them because I began looking into them. So I don't want to talk about it just yet. I'm assuming those will come in another shipment. But he's piqued my interest with all these different things that he's working on, trying to get back in print, things that are coming up down the line that have like a July release and stuff like that. So I'm kind of privy to a few things that way. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet. So with this, I don't have the code right in front of me, but I'm going to put it right here. There is a code where if you order from Bad Reputation Records using this code that has my name in it, I think it was like Brendan001 or something, but using that code, he's going to throw in a free CD or a compilation or something of his choice with it. So be a nice little bonus the same way he threw in some extra stuff with mine. You can order some stuff that you know about, and then he's going to throw some stuff in, fleshing it out for you, make it a little bit better. But it's always kind of cool when you get a freebie like that. And I know how much a lot of you guys also like this label. They're doing such a great job getting a lot of these rare and underrated albums back into our hands. And that's a cool thing. And it's always great to support record labels that are doing that. So certainly head over to Bad Reputation Records, support the owner, Eric Kubard, and what it is that he is doing here to get these things back into our hands. And certainly don't forget to use the code. I'm also going to put it in the description so you can use it from there and get a little bit of bonus something if you order from his label. All right, everyone, take care, have a good one, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.